This is the process for removing the residue off of the piano keys. Like I say, we're going to use the Cori dry sponge. And you can tear these in half if you like. But pretty much you can give it some force. Take it over the key button and around the capstan. And all the different layers and so forth. And then you can wipe the sides of the keys as well as this little notch right here. And then the underside of the key as well. And then the other, flip it over and get the other side. These of course have been vacuumed before I began this process. I will vacuum them again. Now for the key top, once all your keys are cleaned, you can take a towelette, a pre-treated towelette, then you take a soft microfiber cloth, and it leaves them quite beautiful. And of course, don't forget to get the fronts. Whoops, I'm sorry. And you may then go ahead and treat the actual wood. You see how it's absorbing, making it wet. You can actually put it over the key bushing as well. And this is where we'll use our carbon and soot destroyer for bucket washing. I find that rather than using up all the towelettes, you can do this with a damp cloth treated with a solution, dipped in a bucket, and I'll demonstrate that here shortly. So virtually every key you can clean up that way, and it's ready to go. Our carbon and soot destroyer, cleaner and detoxifier, as well as a counteractant, what it's really designed for is bucket washing, and the ratios are on the back. This product may be diluted easily up to 10 to 1, 10 parts water to 1 part destroyer. And you can measure that out and be scientific about it, or you can get a gauge of just kind of how much you need based on the application and so forth. Typically 8 ounces of destroyer to 32 ounces of water is a really nice ratio, 4 to 1, think of it that way. In the cases of more extreme odor, you can use it straight up. You can cut it 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, whatever you choose. In this particular instance, I have this cut about 4 to 1, and it's already in the bucket, and I'll demonstrate using this versus the towelettes for the keys, how you can do the same job. On this particular key, I've already used the dry sponge. It's already been vacuumed and cleaned that way. Now, as I demonstrated using the pre-treated towelette, I'm going to do the same thing using the carbon and soot destroyer, and this has been submerged in the solution and then of course wrung out. And you can go ahead and clean the key tops with it, as well as the entire key itself. You can just wipe it down, and it just gives you a little bit more control. And one bucket will last you quite a while throughout your cleaning. And eventually, when it's all said and done, I use Key Bright on the keys. Doing it this way, wiping it with a dry cloth, and I suggest using the microfiber. We have both a cleaner and polisher cloth that are microfiber, and they're marvelous cloths. And they won't scratch. And there you have a beautiful key, completely detoxified. This is the Cori Micro Shine. It's designed to polish all metals and also removes fine scratches as well, and it buffs to a high polish. In this particular instance, I'm using it on the cap stands. You'll find many uses for it, and I'll just go ahead and zoom this cap stand that I've used it. It's a very high-tech water-based buffing compound. And it polishes up those cap stands beautifully. I've pulled the key slip out of the piano and thought this would be a great representation on a satin ebony finish and how to clean it with which product and so forth. In this particular instance, I'm going to zoom in and just show you the type of residue that exists on this. I also use Micro Shine on this for both the key slot and the locking mechanism. You can see how tarnished that is. But for right now, let's work with the finish. I'm going to use the Carbon and Soot Destroyer bucket solution, and I'll go ahead and zoom out a little bit and wipe that down, and we'll see the remarkable difference. It's important to have a dry, soft cloth. I usually, like I say, use a microfiber. It seems to work real well and absorbs 16 times its weight in liquid. And that is a beautiful cleaning solution. It removed all of that. Then you may feel free, if you'd like, to use satin sheen for the final polish once you assemble the piano. This is a demonstration of Micro Shine on the locking mechanism. I'm going to put a little bit of the Micro Shine solution, and I'll do half of it. This is wonderful for nameplates as well. Manufactured nameplates. It's great for pedals. It's great for hinges. I'll just go ahead and you can see how much tarnish it removed. And there you have it. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more for you. We love the Micro Shine. It does a marvelous job.